Welcome to my channel. This is research methodology in scientific report writing step-by-step tutorial. In the previous lesson, we have seen definition of literature review and importance of literature review. Today, we will see organizing literature review and identifying research gaps from literature. If you are new for this channel, please hit subscribe. Let's begin. Organizing a literature review is a critical step that determines how effectively the researcher communicates existing knowledge and lays the foundation for their own study. A well-organized review is not merely a chronological listing of studies, rather, it is structured to guide the reader logically through the scholarly landscape. There are several common approaches to organize a literature review. 1. Thematic organization. The literature is grouped according to themes, topics, or recurring issues rather than by individual authors or chronological orders. This approach is particularly useful when the research topic spans multiple related subtopics and allows the researcher to synthesize findings across studies that address similar themes. 2. Chronological organization. Sources are arranged according to their publication timeline, tracing the historical development of ideas, theories, or findings over time. This structure works well when the research aims to show how understanding of a topic has evolved, but it should be used cautiously to avoid mere listing without critical synthesis. 3. Methodological organization. Reviews are organized around the research methods used in previous studies. For example, qualitative methods, quantitative methods, or mixed methods approach. This structure is useful when the review seeks to compare findings based on different research designs or when methodological debates are central to the topic. The fourth is theoretical organization. Literature is structured around the theoretical framework or perspectives that researchers have applied to the topic. This approach helps the conceptual lenses through which the subject has been examined and helps identify theoretical tensions that may warrant further investigation. Therefore, regardless of a chosen structure, organizing the review effectively involves several guiding principles. Start broad, then narrow. Begin with a general overview of the field, then progressively narrow the focus toward the specific topic of study. Group related studies logically. Cluster sources that share common findings, perspectives, or themes to create a coherent narrative. Create clear heading and subheadings. These act as signposts posters that guide the reader and reflect the organizational logic of review. Use transitions between sections. Smooth transitions ensure the flow of ideas and demonstrate how different sections connect. And also maintain a critical thread. Even within sections, the review should evaluate and synthesize rather than merely summarize individual studies. Another topic is identifying research gaps from a literature. Identifying research gap is arguably the most important outcome of a well-conducted literature review. A research gap refers to an area within a field where existing knowledge is insufficient, contradictory, or absent. making it a suitable and meaningful target for new investigation. Therefore, the identification of this gap provides the justification for researchers' study and establishes its contribution to the study by knowledge. Scholars have identified several distinct types of research gaps that can emerge from a literature review. One is evidence gap. This occurs when there is little or no empirical research on a particular topic, population, or context. For example, studies may exist on employee motivation in general, but none on remote employees in a specific industry. The second one is knowledge gap. This exists when a finding from existing studies are inconsistent, conflicting, or incomplete, leaving theoretical understanding as uncertain. So, this gap invites research to reconcile contradictory findings. 3 is practical knowledge gap. This arises when professional practice or behavior diverges from what research suggests it should be, revealing a disconnect between theory and practice. Fourth one is methodological gap. Reflects a need for research using different methods, designs, or data sources than those previously employed. For instance, a topic studied predominantly with quantitative surveys may need qualitative exploration to capture deeper insights. Fifth, population gap. This occurs when certain groups, demographics, or segments of the population are under-researched relative to others. This highlights the need to test theories on overlooked groups. The sixth one is theoretical gap. Exists when a theory has not been adequately applied to, tested within, or extended to a particular context or setting. A research addressing this gap contributes to theory development. There are also some strategies for identifying research gap. One is synthesizing findings. Compare and contrast results across studies to detect contradictions or inconsistencies and look at limitations. Examine the limitation and future research sections of prior studies, where authors often suggest unexplored areas. Also, note contexts and populations. Observe which setting, culture, or group have been dominated research and which have been neglected. Also analyze methodology. Determine whether consistent findings have come from a single method, suggesting a need for alternative approaches. Map the literature. Create a visual or conceptual map of the field to identify underdeveloped or disconnected areas. Question existing assumptions. Critically interrogate the premises underpinning current research to uncover areas open to challenge. Once a gap has been identified, the researcher must clearly articulate how the proposed study addresses them. This involves stating the gap explicitly, clearly describe what is missing in the literature, also justify its significance, examining why filling the gap is important to the field and to practice. Linking the gap to research questions, demonstrating how the study's research questions and objectives directly respond to the identified gap. So, by doing this all, we can identify a research gap between literatures. For more, it's better to refer these sources. Thank you for watching.